Barrel through. USPs will be tested. Rigon tapping away, struggling to find the heads, but Naitu understands the assignment. Big kill, instant trades.
There we go. Now a 3v4 on the retake. It is going to be tough here for Ence with no diffuse kit, no utility to speak of. The USPs will have to barrel their throughout here, especially from short, as we're looking at Young to try to deal most of the damage out here. Getting on in to the bomb site. Ence are gonna struggle. Here's the first one spotted. Simple looking for taps. And apparently the Glock is not gonna suffice. There you go. Headshot connected and some die. Invested a little bit into utility. So they can bide their time. They can wait to figure out where BC.Game want to go. And it's gonna be that A hit with a flash jumping right in the face of Simple. They're running in towards this jungle. 1-for-1 trade out of the 5-7. And now Simple is got to hold down jungle until his teammates plan away that bomb. Open position out here. Prime Taps helps out as BC.Game are going to have an easy plant. So, let me ask you a little bit about the veto out here, since it's pretty even, right? From what we see, it's the safest, I think, both in history. It hasn't necessarily worked out, so I do presume that we could be seeing an Ancient on the books here.
We certainly could, yeah. It's difficult to sort of gauge what BC.Game have been doing behind the scenes and in the practice server, because, you know, we haven't seen too many matches out of them with these new additions. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a decided map either. Ence have looked very good on Dust 2 recently. They've given us signs of weakness over the past week. A couple of their games in the Star Series, and they... Ooh, wow, very tidy from Prime Taps. But yeah, they looked fantastic in their opening game, frankly, against Bet Boom. They really breezed through Dust 2 as well. That came up in the series, and I thought they'd have a very good chance of getting out of the group. And then in their winners game, they fell down to that lower bracket. They had to play against Fnatic to qualify into the on a chance to qualify for the major.
Yeah, 100%. It's all about the fight for the major, right? And I'm surprised without skins, you know.
I guess so. Just a lot of stigma around him, right? But yeah, he is a fantastic player. I think he could come back in. I just don't know who in place of. I don't think that he is looking better than any of the 5 that we're seeing here right now. I think Nex is a fantastic IGL as well. So, yeah, a piece that you wouldn't want to be moving around.
Simple 1v5.
Oh, no chance. Absolute shutdown. Unable to just full W. You know, they are against a top 30 team.
Yeah. And it's definitely proving to show what they've got already to fight with out here into the A-bomb. So it's a 3-man stack ready for the intake of BC.Game. And walking through the smoke, Young, great for 2. Takes down Andu and Nexa. And out from middle as well. The crunch is still here. Kakanito, last man standing, 1v3. And he's already spotted out the one. Natu and Rigon left to hold over this bomb for 20 extra seconds. While Kakanito's taking these fights. Beautiful flashing kill there. It's a 1v1 and Natu's ready. But Natu wasn't ready enough. Kakanito. Let's see it. What they're about to do to try to figure out how to approach the game. Andu, same position being taken on middle every single time. Both him and Nexa, slow start out here to the day, but still BC.Game are winning. So what are you to do? Young, again, aggression is going to be rewarded, and it's up to Simple to try to put that down. Prime Taps on the bomb side already, though. Look at him just dropping on over and making noise. And are they going to take the bait out here, or are BC.Game just going to go for the complete swap? The 180 on the ideas. And yeah, with Prime Taps taking that much space, I wouldn't bet against it. It's a good plan. Simple on the peak. 1v1 Young. I'm sure a little bit of a... I don't think animosity, but a little bit of nostalgia going down there up against them. And now as BC.Game are going to be making their way through to the A-bomb site. Ence have taken their sweet time into trying to figure out where that bomb is actually going to get. It kind of felt like they were trying to go for a save earlier on into the round, even in the 4v4. Now that they have to really fight on in, they have to find Kakanito, and it's just not going to happen. Rigon finds him yet again, and Natu, even with this good kill through the smoke, I don't think is going to be enough to enable them for the retake. Should have found Nexa 2 there if they wanted to try it. But it's a 5-1 start here for BC.Game on their own map pick. Mirage looking like the boys in green might have an idea of how to play it. Could you believe it?
Yeah, I mean, you'd expect it, right? Also, just, you know, and I hate to sort of break Counter-Strike down into a simple bare bones statement like this, because I always hate it when people do. I think, you know, there's far more depth to a map like Mirage than people give it credit for. It is still one of the more bare bones aim centric maps, and yeah, G up when they were having good rounds, he was getting excited, and I think that's really important. It's really important to have somebody like that. Otherwise, yeah, everyone just sort of gets a bit depresso and the going gets tough, and yeah, that can be a real symptom of sort of young inexperienced players.
Yeah, but now the game's ready to go. We're back away from the technical problems, and it seems that symple will get traded out here by niko with that young firepower coming in that we've always talked about here. They've been brought out here from the academy for a reason, man. They know how to shoot, and they've been doing it quite damn consistently too out here for Ence. So even on a half investment round like this, we still get to see miltzee pick up the Galil, and we still get to see this being in contention. The 5-7s can definitely dish out the damage. Kakanito is also going to fall, so that's some Young on an upgrade to an AK. And a 2v3 now continuing on. It's Andu and Nexa who have yet to put up a single kill individually. Still struggling to do so. Andu, great headshot though, is left in the clutch. 1v2 now, and he's got to play this one aggressive. He's not in a spot where he can just wait out the timer. Andu stuck behind bench right here, looking on in the left and right, but the side that he's not accounting for is miltzee finding...
Is enough of a hiccup to break the bank. 3 rifles, that's 2 AKs, 1 Galil, couple of pistols. Simple with the Desert Eagle, sort of sacrificing himself in that regard, but saying, I'm very capable with this weapon, so let's see what he can do with it. Decent trade for the first.
There you go, Podio ready to fall. niko is out here on control of the waterfall. How many can he find before he peeks out? He goes in aggressive. Big mistake out of niko, I'd say. You had Rig on here to do that for you, and he's gonna do it quite damn well. Picks up the A1S from the ground, wants some more, and symple not able to reply. That is gonna be Pody going down, but not...
Simple, but he didn't have an AWP in this round. It is just the pistols, and if they can deal any damage here, I think they'd be fairly happy with it.
Yeah, see now the rest of BC.Game also probably taking this half investment round to try to deal damage, but also keep it as a bit of a French tactical timeout, talk it out a bit in the middle of the round, and figure out what's going on, because if Nexa and Andu can't start picking up kills, then it's really going to become a problem later down in the mid game here. It can't just be Kakanito and symple to do most of the work for the team. It has to be a team effort. It has to be all of them, because right now that's exactly what Ence are putting up to the table, and they're doing it in a really good fashion as well. Everybody's there, everybody's together, and look, from 5-1 down, it's already 5-4. It's the fine margins that count right now. And Ence are going to try to take every single round.
Keep them relevant until the rest of the boys wake up, then so be it. But in the long run, if this continues, then Ence definitely have the advantage.
Right. Well, they're going to try to keep up that advantage, and it's a lovely spray and crossfire here for Pody and some Young to find that triple kill out of connector. Symple struggling to even find one there. Even though there's all this experience, there's big personalities, so they could always clash, and that's scary.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's kind of interesting, that ME coach edition. I'm really glad to see him like moving into this role. I think that of any players that you would expect to transition into a coaching role, Emmy's definitely one of them. Nice little timing from Kakanito. Oh my god, the pistols are going to overrun. This is not a round to lose, but it's one that might just lean that way.
Yeah. First time we actually get to see BC.Game get so much space in towards this bomb site. Symple able to connect on Rigon. And look, when they have nothing to lose, BC.Game know how to push. They've gone into that A-bomb site. They had that amazing opening frag onto the player up into rafters, and then it was just easy from that point onwards.
It's a really interesting shift, isn't it? Like, I don't know whether to call it an upgrade or not, because he was playing within a top 30 team, and now he's coaching a team that are actually worse off in the rankings, I think. But I think the opportunity, yeah, that's the thing, right? That's kind of the point. It's for now. The opportunity to coach Symple. I imagine the contract may be a hefty one. I imagine he's maybe on a more than he was at Partisan. And yeah, as you say, the ranking for them is for now, whereas for Partizan, they've kind of been sat where they've been sat for the past year, and I don't think that they're going to be climbing much higher. I think their ceiling is sort of where it's at. Nighty Wriggle shutting this down. They are not happy with BC.Game taking a...
Is going to be moving to that CT side, and already with aggression, Andu is gonna look a tad bit better than he was on the first half, but look at the team play out of Ence. To drop down all the way out into the A-bomb side, plant it quickly, and to find the space needed as well for the 3v3. This is great coming through out here for the T side, but can they keep it up? Because it's next to Kakanito and Prime Taps, the core of this team, looking to try to make a success out of this, and it's just not gonna be that easy.
Yeah, no fairy tale here.
Oh my god.
Makes damn sure of that. It's all on to Kakanito. We've seen some heroics out of him. We saw a sick 1v3 a little bit earlier on, but he does have the kit, to be fair. It's just the lack of health that I think is the big problem here. Taps the bomb. They're not going to give him the opportunity. Head will turn into the full body. Depends if he goes checked it. It's just going to be the one fight onto Sunday. Young Andu is right there on him. And not too shabby at all. Just the eke around with the pistols. Any kind of damage here would be pretty huge.
Okay. Well, a little bit of damage has already been sent towards Sam Da-young's way. It's too bad for Andu that he doesn't get to pick up a gun out of that. Because if he did, and swapped it around maybe, even if he died, protect the VIP a little bit out here for BC.Game instead of just trying to stack up onto the A-bomb site. Maybe the round would have looked different, but right now, yeah, it is going to be an 8-6 here for Ence as they take away the clear advantage for at least the beginning of the second half. So not looking bad at all. And by the way, gosh, while we've been yapping away out here, HLTV rating 3.0 has just gone out.
Oh yeah?
It's live now, yeah.
Oh, cool.
That is going to be really cool to see how teams and players are going to change now.
What does that, like, what extra does that account for? What, how does that work?
Round swing metric apparently is now a thing. Economy adjustment. Impact for each kill. So apparently they're going even more in depth with how they're treating like aces and multi-frags and big clutches. So that's going to be taken into factor. And
that's pretty cool.
It's a slicker, from what I see out here, from what they put up for Zaiwu at the very least. It's a slicker design,
so many like amazing players within professional Counter-Strike that have so much impact and bring so much value to a team, but they aren't the ones putting up the big kills. And yeah, I think sort of giving them credit for those things is super important. Simple needs a bit of credit in this round too, because he's just cracked things open with 2 massive entries. They've now got a 2-man advantage.
Simple wants to go for more though. He's still hungry for these wins all these years later. He's still Simple. And he wants his team to be there with him, calling in for a bit of an engagement now. Andu able to come out of short and swing out, connects on another. Pody's last man standing on a post plant. Needs an ace to make it happen. I don't really see it working now, but there is that 1% chance that we see at the top of our screen that Pody gets to hold this. So BC.Game, chop chop, you gotta get a move on. Spotted out where Pody is, looking on him for Simple as well. Gets a little bit of good damage in, and the smoke out there is not gonna help out the Molotov. So should be just a straight up defuse. And the fade away here from Pody. It's a nice attempt, but it's BC.Game with their first CT side on the board.
Yeah, if there was no smoke there, maybe there's a conversation to be had, but not going to happen for Pody. He does well, though, to find a kill, get out of to win this one. We'll see BC.Game tie things up and more than likely take the lead, since shouldn't have money in the next round. It all depends how this one pans out. If they get a bomb plant, if they save a couple of people or whatever. Right now, Wriggle bombarded with a bit of early util.
Okay, this is a fast one out of Ence. They really want to pull the wool over their eyes, but Kakanito's not going to let them do that. And Nexus first couple of frags found out now. BC.Game.
Powerful stuff out of BC.Game, making a bit of a statement here that their CT side is pretty impenetrable. And it's just going to be a full eco here from Ence. Low expectations as they'll fly out of middle. Should be a bit of a shutdown. If they can find a kill or two, then I think they'll be pretty happy. Pody will be the first to drop. And Simple's making a bit of a meal of this, but there we go. Tidied up nicely and yeah, pretty comfortable.
And loving life right now.
Yeah, he really is popping off through and through. almost a 2 KD, whilst a couple of the other boys are going quiet. He's coming into this game very, very loud. Andu's stepped up as well, quite nicely. Good little crossfire set up here on B. Next up, we'll add another to his tally, but Simple doubles down and a group up here in the B apartments. HE is going to do a chunk of damage as well onto Miltzy, so him and Pody can be low HP buddies as they look to breach through this smoke. Here it is. Next up, blinded. Oh, God. He does end up with one at least. Now it's on to Andu to support.
Good thing you have Andu in short, though. He takes care of 2 and spotted out the bomb as well. Simple, last man here, but the Rigon finds a great headshot onto 1. And imagine if that second one connected as well. Would have put him in contention for the rest through mid. Good smoke being thrown out. Simple. Forced out into B. Could allow a way in out here for Ence into the same bomb side. You've got A2 lurking around towards ramp as well. And Kakanito could be in a world of hurt if he uncrouches here. It's all down to how that smoke really fades. Could actually show his head, and that's exactly what happens. 1 coming through for Miltzy, 1 coming through for some Young. You don't know where the enemy's gonna be now, so Simple is forced to anchor this B bomb site as the rest of BC.Game huddling around this A site. They have hit the nail on the head though. They have found a good timing to take down 1, but the other is Miltzy out here onto stairs, leaving only prime taps in a 1v2 that's just not that winnable. Double peaked and now leaving Simple.
Game don't get aggressive and find themselves in like super positions, but 30 seconds, they do need to start to regroup now and hit towards this A site.
This is all about middle too. Nobody putting up pressure as Simple has died. And it's a double peek at a connector that Kakanito manages to make advantageous here for his team. Pody still coming through though, makes things a bit more interesting. Nexa just hanging on in towards this ninja. Could find them both. Is a perfect timing, perfect spot to take down Andu, and Pody stuck out here. Nate will fall, Pody as well, and it's BC.Game. You wonder if he would have stayed tucked into window right there in the previous round, and even now maybe he's watched a couple of too many Zaiwu demos, but it appears to have worked out as he has taken down Pody up in mid. And he's taking these aggressive stances with the rifle instead of the op, so he's going to be leaving himself quite open to a lot of these rotating roles, trying to stay all over the map, be a little bit more versatile. It is going to help out. Limited HP now for Ence as they're going to try to head on over towards the A-bomb site, and everybody's falling down to low, but Simple is here to try to clean up. Down to 73, he's fighting just very low HP. 1 bullet was needed to find A2 there as well, but now it's all up to the IGL. Nexa needs to clutch on a 1v3 to close out this game.
He's got util, he's got the nade, but he didn't want to deploy it. I thought he was just going to get it over to default to deny that plant. Instead,
it's going to work.
Down with the AK anyway. That HE will wipe out Nito.
No way.
And the Mac 10's got a pressure, but there's no time. Nexa does pull off the 1v3. It felt like it was sort of handed to him on a silver platter. The circumstances were absolutely perfect. And yeah, he delivers really, really clean. 13-9, BC.Game. It's their map pick, so you expect nothing less. But yeah, they give us a really good showing. Kakanito and Simple really shining stars there as well. They had some great moments. They've taken a couple of rough losses, but that's against Fnatic and Paravision, so I think you can sort of brush that off. Prior to that, yeah, some really, really convincing matches, some really convincing wins where they're winning like 13-2, 13-5, 13-6 against some top competition. So, barreling out onto the B site here in the pistol, all gas, no brakes, and headshots being connected as the USPs whiff a little bit. It's prime taps and Kakanito gone already. And a retake that's already ordinarily very difficult here on the B site. A dust 2. They've got to try and do it with a man disadvantage.
And no defuse kit out here for Simple nor Andu. Nexus already down to low, and he's the one working the flashes. So Rigon goes aggressive, and that's the Rigon power you want to see from your new pickup out here for Ence. He's going in, he's not scared of combating and actually trying to fight a lot of these players out on BC.Game, and because of that, we're getting to see a lot of success out here for Ence. That's what we got to see on map number 1 as well. They were really putting up a formidable fight after being, you know, 5-1 down, being, what was it, 11-9 down, stuff like that, where Ence are just working the backbone of these players, trying to work from them.
Did Nexa drop the Deagle? How has Simple still got so much money?
I do believe that it was Nexa dropping the Deagle, most likely.
Right,
yeah, that makes sense. Somewhere. Yeah, and everybody's on the same amount of cash, so it only makes sense that Nexa with the kill would have dropped that. You know, it's fun as well watching Simple because he's a man of multiple talents, not just the AWP. Like, we remember him back in the day as well, pulling out the shotguns, pulling out the SMGs, pulling out everything that was needed to get that AWP on lockdown, you know? So that's why running it out here with BC.Game is also going to be a time for Simple to refine his old opping skills, like find them again, but also, you know, introduce some new things that perhaps Tier 2 is boost idea. And the better off for him, actually. Would have been quite in a tough pickle. Two players out here from Ence still looking to try to fight the good fight here. The flash doesn't necessarily go a long way. Simple traded out by some Da Young, and now it's a 3v4 out here that BC.Game are fighting on a pretty decent disadvantage. The bomb wants to go to A, and there's 20 seconds left where that came from, so it's not going to be easy at all for the T side as well.
Oh, this is tough, but some Da Young carves them apart up short. And Pody will follow up as well. Nice. Exciting to see Simple keeping 2,500 in the bank, so he will have an AWP next round. That's the whole point of him not having Kevlar here. Next draws first blood. I'm sort of chalking this one up as a freebie here for Ence, but do have to keep their heads screwed on. We've seen our fair share of rounds like this go sour.
Yeah, it all comes down from that freebie, right? That just allows an upgrade to happen, and then from that point onwards, everything starts falling apart for the team that's working the anti-buy. The anti-force. Ence. We'll be slowing things down here just a little bit, and it's again down to that short engage they want to take. Worked out last time, but just by fine margins. Now it's up to Pody to find that initial engage, and it's going to be up to Nexa if he peeks this one out. Pody spotted him, moves on back. Doesn't want to take the fight with the AWP yet. Nexa, he needs to call something here. He's only got Simple down to long, and a rotate from Kakanito maybe out from middle. They might want to work through. They spotted out the bomb surely by now. Ence taking their sweet time, but here comes the mollies, here comes the flashes. It's up to Nexa with that rifle to try to deal the damage, and all of them lining up the sights of short. Got into elbow, take down the head of the AK, and now will be finding the bomb.
Kakanito wanted the opportunity, but they don't give it to him. They drop the smoke instead. Pody eliminates the short prince. HE is going to do a little bit of damage. Kakanito's going to work his way through the smoke as well. Still, nobody giving him an avenue to this round. Whilst there's not a lot to save, right now it doesn't feel like there's a lot to gain either. So maybe just exits on the menu. If they can grab a couple of AKs, they'll be very happy with that. And just around this corner, he's going to hear the AWP back off, so won't be given the opportunity. They'll be flashed in, and they're just going to try and go for a swing. But no one's home. Hold on to the Kevlar, hold on to the helmets. Make that buy a little bit cheaper in the next. We'll see some extra util come out as a result. It is going to be 4-0, friends. They've done a very good job at just keeping...
He has to work out here with Kakanito to get through top tunnels too. It's Milty with the bomb that's the issue here for Ence. If he drops, the whole round can be in peril.
Yeah, it's scary stuff. Kakanito's got a powerful position. I don't think Milty's going to drop and go for anything crazy with that bomb, but, you know, with Simple's contact in lower tunnel, that's where it does start to come into question. It's a massive shot connected. For Kakanito, he doesn't need to move. He can stay in the corner. They're not going to venture down into lower tunnels. They've found space out onto the A sides. The bomb's going to work its way over. Again, there's a world there. There's a world there where Simple have just walked up mid and sort of catches the bomb in rotation. It's not going to matter. They retake the A site before it even falls. Now it is just onto Milty. It'll be caught out by Kakanito. It's a really good be ready.
That was beautiful from Pody. He was dropped all the util, and he times it just right that everybody from BC.Game goes back onto A. It's just Andu on a good timing to actually get into this bomb site. But the only man he actually stops with that smoke is going to be some Da Young a little bit later down the line. Half HP, he drops the bomb to the site, and he's not even going to fall yet. It's a good flank around in from tunnels, but they can't deny the bomb from being planted. So it's a 4v5 on a retake. That's really tough out here for BC.Game, especially with no flashes here to work with. They've got nothing out here, MNJ, nothing to get back into that bomb site. So it is going to be Ence taking that 5th on the board.
Just circles being run around them in this round. Simple hoping for some exits, but frustration that you can't get more out of a round like this because it's one they heavily invested into. Just that B site here on Dust 2, a real plague so often. Just a massive overcommitment and over-rotation at the start causes them all those issues. A simple dying to the bomb behind, just tucked in next to an Xbox.
Setup still ran. Oh!
Ooh. That's a big start from Prime Taps. That's a big time for it as well. We question this double AWP setup, but it may be the answer.
Might be. And CT side again makes more sense to bring it out. So even in a big money round like this, BC.Game taking a little bit of a gamble, and it might be paying off. Finally, Nexus engagement in towards long does pay off his dividends too, and it's just Kakanito here to hold on. A simple taken out from mid. Just a dink out there onto some Young, as that's all that BC.Game could muster up out here for this hold. Now it's going to be up to the retake, and Pody gets very lucky that Nexa doesn't connect that headshot. Instead goes to the body as he moved just a slight.
If Nexa connects, which he should have, then that would have made all the difference. And they would have had a go at that. They would have had a 3v2, and I think they're
fast around, and he has a spawn for it as well, so it's straight up to B out here. It's going to be up to Andu to really deny a lot of this, as Primetas is going to be staying on window. He's not going to have the first engage. It's up to Andu indeed to try to find these kills, and it's only good for one. Pody on the spray transfer finds Primetaps all the way up to window, wins the round off immediately. What happened there?
Wow, wow, wow. Mechanics from Pody. Beautiful stuff. Rigon, yeah, as you pointed out, had bought the Mac 10. Had a choice, not necessity. There's more than enough money for whatever he wanted, but he had the B spawn and he said, I'm just going to spearhead this. I'm going to run in, just make sure you trade me. Pody does exactly that, and he does it very, very well. So, yeah, we are going to see a 7th out of Ence. This is much better. Much, much better than Mirage. And it's surprising that there can be this kind of disparity. There can be this huge difference in level between maps, right? Because yeah, they weren't there on Mirage. They weren't playing like this on Mirage at all.
I mean, on the comeback board as they can, and now with 30 seconds left to go, it's up to round number 9 to see if they can put yet another one up. Andu out into mid is going to be the first engagement out here as Rigon actually drops into CT. This still could be a B angle as Natu allowed to connect onto Primetaps is just simple here to hold in a 3v1 essentially. Moves back in towards tunnels, an amazing flash coming through from whoever threw it, but it is going to be good only for simple. 2v2 and Pody with a Tech 9 manages to make this one doable for some Young. It's a 1v1. It's an IGL duel here as Nexa is coming on in and does find ahead of some Young. That's Nexa on the clutch, and just like the previous couple of rounds that BC.Game had to end on for the first map, we get to see the IGL start clutching up back again in a much needed moment. BC.Game need the rounds.
Yeah, a bit of a that's sort of the benchmark, right? That's what they're looking for. If they can take 3 on the bounce here, we go 7-5, and they're absolutely sort of back in the picture for the T-half. Love this initiative from Simple. Playing over the top of the Xbox smoke. Oh, if they swing from top mid, he knows he's dead. Has to come off on the timing. That's a shame. I don't think they would have been expecting that. It would have been good for a freebie. Flash over the top, and oh, just bites off more than he can shoot. Simple. Can't take more than one. He'll be overwhelmed, and it's all going wrong.
Yeah, high pressure moment out there, but Nexa finally able to win out his engagement onto long, even though he had sacrificed a teammate. So now needs to win another one, and it just doesn't work that well. It's a double peak, and Nexa isn't even able to get out one with, so Primetaps is left into 1v3. And the bomb is already on its way to short, so they're playing this one very frugally, Ence, very carefully. Got a molly off short, and it's up to Primetaps to find a big clutch out here with Natu on 20 HP. It's really up to some Young to win this one out. And that's why Natu out of the fight, and now position known for Primetaps. Some Young out into elbow, and Primetaps is surely going to check this. Sees the head, connects it. Primetaps, much needed moment out of him to keep BC.Game in this very game. Well played.
Jeez. Okay.
This as well, Milty. Tough game on this one too. Struggled on first. We thought it was a warm-up issue, you know, just first map. Struggling on map number 2 is really not needed now for Ence when they're trying to make it to quarterfinals. Nexa gets out with 2 out of long doors. Longhouse manages to find his flank, forces Ence into the fight. Either way, they had to go there. It's 25 seconds left, and Pody only able to clean out on 1. Natu, at the very least, finds Andu as well, but the timing's all wrong, and Nexa's up to it. Wants to deny that bomb, but the smoke saves them. It's at least a bomb plant here for Ence in a 2v3. Natu, struggling on 4 HP, is gonna fall, and Nexa finds the double, makes it clean, makes it poppy. As it is going to be BC.Game now, good for 3 in a row to start making this comeback real.
Okay, yeah, this one doesn't require a crazy clutch. This one's a little bit more consistent, which the extra cash plus they've got the loss bonus, so it's not as bad as it could have been. It does still mean 2 Mac 10s in play. They're going to try and run it down to B again. They've had a lot of success with this in the past, but this time, no double entry out of Pody means no success. And a minute 35 on the clock with a 2-man disadvantage.
Yeah, good luck, Ence. I mean, they've worked through a couple of clutches before, but that was again at the beginning of this half when BC.Game were still struggling really individually. Now, they seem to have woken back up, and Nexa has been the one that has been doing that the most. So he's up, left onto the A-bomb site to hold until cavalry arrives from CT. 3v4. Pody, Young, and Rigon. Whole task ahead. Looking on in, Rigon, good headshot on the first, but the player coming up the ramp is gonna be Andu. Good for at least 1, denies the bomb for just a little longer, and now it's a 1v2 that makes it a... Tell you what. See? This is not the first shot. Should have been huge out there onto Andu. Yeah. Falls apart. BC.Game could get to the bomb site, but we do have a couple of lineups here for the CTs. Ence connect onto with some Young's help from the previous round. Now keeps up the same position, finds those same 2 headshots. Nexa feeling the hurt, and Simple connecting an amazing headshot. Finds Pody as well. It's Simple and Prime Taps making the 2v4.
On their nerve. Simple having some massive moments there at the end as well. This resurgence from Nexa has been exceptional. I know you pointed out before, but it's just pretty insane that he had a really, really slow start to this map, and he stepped up. He's now sat 10 and 10. He's one of the top honchos on the scoreboard in the server as a whole. Simple's having a bit of a field day, tapping in mid. They seem to have lost Pody, which is awkward, but I'm sure they'll find him.
Even a single USP, that is going to do him much, even with this position, to find kills, find damage out here onto the T side. They're all really holding him. But yeah, those were some nice controlled headshots coming out of Simple to boost his cash and boost his KD as well. BC.Game 8-6, and this is what I was talking about, right? Because Ence
there's problems. BC.Game should be able to tie things up, and assuming they take a couple of casualties as well, they might be able to snatch away that orb, upgrade the Galils and the Mac 10. This is an effective bonus round, and they've already found that first frag. The domino to fall is Miltsy. You pointed out he'd had a slow series, and Young makes up for it. That's massive.
Such a late Molotov in towards car, doesn't really let them get through, and Rigon helps out as well. Mistakes out here by BC.Game on the macro game might just cost them the entirety of this round. Before you push there, you always send out the Molotov. It came in just that tad bit too late. Young allowed to overtake, and now a 2v3 where we really need to see Kakanito step up to the plate. It's Prime Taps up into short, and he's got his teammate behind him. Will the head peek out from ramp is the question. There it is, and not connected upon. Prime Taps at least gets him in the end. Will be a bomb plant. No defuse kit here. Pody is on the AWP, but he's quite far away to come in through CT. So this is really going to be tough for Ence, and they might just choose to save. Yeah. Josh, it's 8-7. It's BC.Game. Back into it. Or at least it's looking like it.
Are they going for the save? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it felt like they were, and you know, you've got to make sure that you commit to these things and kind of own your decision, right? You're either backing away and saving, or you're not. If you're not, then you need to fully commit. And if you are, then you need to make sure that you hold on to those rifles, because it's disaster when you meet somewhere in the middle and you kind of give it a little stab, but not enough, and you end up in this really awkward bit. But yeah, absolutely. I think he's capable of bringing a team back up to the levels, the heights that he's played at. Right now, though, they are being met with major resistance on this B-bomb site. Ence are not letting anybody pass. That'll continue. Nexa does take one, but an instant trade back. It's all on to symple, and with 5 seconds left, there's, of course, no option. So, to just hold on to this.
It might start to become a real issue if BC.Game don't start pressing that W key.
Yeah, Pody's on the angle as well. They need to make sure that they either flash him off or they insta-trade if he lands the shot, and, well, it's the former. Now, Simple will be posted up on the angle. Round.
There you go. Very, very needed here for BC.Game, seeing as how the scoreline is so close. You're taking every advantage you can hold on to, latch on to. And there's a rare W here for Kakanito as well. That'll be the entry in towards short, which might be forcing BC.Game's hand to actually peek into this angle. If Pody goes down, it's a quick round here for BC.Game. That is a big if, and look onto the minimap as well, Natu. The only one that can even be thought to go down to that B-bomb site, Simple, takes him through the smoke.
Oh man. It is cruel. The Simple domination continues here. We were saying that, you know, he had an exceptional first map, but he wasn't the hardest hitter. There wasn't like a big carry out of him. It feels like he's got a lot of weight on his shoulders now. He is sort of taking up that responsibility, and so
he's hunting them. It's like there's cash in the bank here for the T side. They can comfortably go in for these hunts, which would definitely benefit them, because Ence are running dry on cash at the moment. And with Andu hitting headshots like that, well, it is definitely working out here for the T side. Milty's just desperately trying to stay alive. Deals damage with the incendiary. Does take out Andu, but it's only really one. There you have it, BC.Game. Beautiful hunt.
Limping away. A brutal start. It is just the pistols. They should be made light work of, and this will be BC.Game onto 10.
There you go. Should be indeed 5 7s and pistols down here, looking for just some cheap headshots they can find, and well, only one was good. As that is going to be BC.Game looking up to double digits first. It's Andu. On par for the ace actually here. He's found the 4th. He's searching for the 5th. I don't think Pody is going to give it to him. But that definitely is going to help Andu's confidence go up. Even if it's just against pistols, it's him getting back in, connecting those headshots, feeling good on the server. And we've definitely been seeing it. Because when BC.Game were losing, Andu was barely having any kills. And now everybody out here from BC.Game, bar one, because they're always
as Mirage. I really wasn't expecting them to just roll over and die here on Dust 2 when they were 7-1 down. It was only a matter of time before they started giving us something, but this is more than something. This is a hell of a lot. Andu falls early, but Simple is still smashing shots. PrimeTaps has found a head elsewhere too, and this is for 11 rounds. And to push it for BC.Game, they say Simple's got 8k in the bank. It'll be 10k after the bomb goes boom. 5 figures. It's enough to justify him getting a little exploratory. Flashes over the top. Kakanito finds one. Simple.
Or BC.Game are 1 away from map point and series point as well. So let's see it. MP9's dealing damage. It's the pistol out of Natu to take down 2 on short. There you go. Things are changing around. It's not all over yet though. Let's not put our hands on our heads just yet. It is PrimeTaps to come back through. Natu taken care of. And it's still a 3v3 that can definitely be dealt with out here by BC.Game. The scout out of Pody. Taken out as well by Simple. And some Da Young and Milty left into this 2v3 will be able to salvage guns. But it will still be a very tough engagement out here for the remaining players of the CT side. PrimeTaps fully blinded. They're walking by each other right now. Chips in the night, inside of the smoke. And there's 2 where that came from. Suddenly, Primetap's somehow keeps them at bay.
Surely. Around like this, they made the right call to not overinvest. They made the right call to just go for the pistols and say we're gonna have a full buy in that sort of 12-9 round. But
since they lost 0-2, it's been since the 15th of May since they lost to Passion UA in a 2-0. It's never been done ever since then. It's taken this many months for Ence to lose on a 2-0 if BC.Game get through into this one. And they have not known this kind of defeat in a while. It would really hurt them, especially going into so many events. BC.Game showing up such a good game right now. They've only lost in 2-1 fashion, yeah.
Oh, niko super aggro though in the T-spawn, and this doesn't really give them options. Primetap's has found the entry out along, and it sort of commits them to this, because they're sandwiched in. And unless Andu can find an escape route, which he does, then A has to be the destination. I think it might be anyway, but now the pressure's off. The 4v2. Andu and Primetaps are low, so they need to be careful. This could still go wrong. As it stands, they're in a decent position. They're in a very good position, in fact. I'll give them a little bit more credit.
Yeah. SomeDayoung's coming in. He's out onto Longhouse, ready to execute. Could be the final moments we have of this best of 3. BC.Game are gonna walk up, and Rigon, if he finds more than 2, this is still very doable. Spots out Andu, can't take him down. SomeDayoung comes in from long, and it's really up to Rigon, who finds the 2 needed. There you go, it's down to Nexa, 1v2, and he's gonna run away. He has the bomb indeed. Is anybody gonna pick him in from CT? It doesn't even matter now. It's still a 1v2, and with no util left out here for Ence, this isn't over.
They're not even going to start to rotate until that bomb goes down as well. So this is already going to be sort of a third of the way, maybe even halfway ticked before they get into position. And they're scrambling around, trying to swap out Rigon's AWP for a rifle. Aid goes in, decent damage onto Nexa. He will confirm they're both coming up from the doors. Now he's just got to land the heads, but they'll both swing together. And Nexa doesn't even pull the trigger. Alrighty.
Okay. Well, Ence have found a lifeline into this game, and they're not about to just throw it away. Beautiful flash out there from shore, but it's still gonna be SomeDayoung to fall first. Good kill out of Nexa to peel away for Andu. And now 4v5 where Simple's looking low, but it doesn't matter because he's Simple. He's not gonna overpeak this. Not gonna overplay it. Just waiting on BC.Game to make a move.
You might. You definitely could. There's a HE in play still for MIBR as well if it's deployed in the right place. Get that AWP out of commission, but for now, he's holding long. BC.Game seem to be set on possibly bombarding out of short here. I don't know. I mean, the bomb's gone back to lower tunnels. They've still got options. They've got the man advantage. Simple's kind of made a glass right now. Tank from anything would get him finished, but this is interesting. He's going to drop through the smoke. This is so sick from Andu. This is so sick. And now they'll route to B.
There you go, beautifully done. It's all up to Nate too. He's hearing all the steps being gone, and Andu, he sure finds one, but it's all up to MIBR, 1v3, and it's up to Simple to close it as the narrative goes. 22-9. Simple shows us how it's done, and it's BC.Game 13-10 to close it out on their enemy's map pick and give Ence their first 0-2 defeat in over 3 months. Insanity.
That last round is all Andu. That is so sick. It's so well played. You throw that sort of wall of smokes to get you out on Cat, and the ramp player doesn't want to face, right? Now, there wasn't one there, but even if there was somebody sort of contesting that angle, you don't want to face because it's a really awkward fight to be taking. And Andu just dropping through that waterfall in smoke.